All right, thank you for staying with the Monday Report. The town hall session begins right now. This is where we're discussing just hours away from the presidential debate. Some candidates have said they're not coming, others have said that they want to be put on the same level. There's been a lot going on there, but the question to the people is, will that affect the voters' choice? That's what we're asking you. Let's see what you're saying as we sample some of your feedback. There's a lot coming through, but more will come through. You can send them through on 22422. That's the SMS line. Tell us your name and where you're texting from. Or at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Monday Report. So, the presidential debate has an impact, of course, and it will shape the conversation towards elections, just like the deputy presidential debate, okay? Let's see what else you're saying. Ambula Ken says, yes, the debate might affect the outcome of the elections. The undecided voters might just hear what they have been looking for and make up their mind, okay? Oyuko says the presidential debate 2022 has almost zero effect on how people will vote. The debate only affects to compel candidates to expound their agenda before each other. Case of example is 2013 and 2017. Okay. Enoch Misoi says the debate has a great impact on the voters because the media covers a large area and the undecided get to decide on last minute. Okay. Gladson Madime says the debate to me is very crucial space for talking to the undecided voters and also an avenue for explaining the manifestos. I was looking forward to a healthy debate. Okay? Beatrice says the presidential debate will not change my decision, for I have already decided who will get my vote. All right. All right, thank you for all that feedback. Keep it coming. Let me introduce my guest now. Beginning from my right, Professor Gitilia Naituli, political commentator, is here. Thank you so much for making time. And Professor Alfred Omenya as well, urban development expert. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you, Trevor.
Prof, there's been a pronouncement from the Azimio leader, Raila Odinga, that he will not show up for the debate.
Correct.
Is that a tactical move or a misstep from where you stand?
Wow, I mean, you give me very limited choices here in this particular instance.
Yeah.
The answer is that is a yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at it, you ask yourself what is really to be gained in a presidential debate, as it actually were, and a lot of it has you know, the commentators, comments coming in, is some undecided voters.
Yeah.
And now those undecided voters are actually very few. The second thing is that, yes, what are they likely to be discussing in the first instance?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with what is ailing the country and has to do with the manifestos and so on. So if you are to ask the question the other way around, what is in it for Azimio?
Yeah.
What are they likely to gain from the debate? Yeah, and if you were to answer that question honestly, almost nothing. In the sense that Azimio really does not have such an, I would say, outstanding agenda. It's more the same agenda we've had before. We know Azimio has been very quiet on you know, engaging the failures of the government of the day. In fact, I think they've accepted the position that they're responsible for that failure, which has been rubbed onto them by the Kenya Kwanza people. And you saw the great discomfort Azimio had when Kenya Kwanza upped the game on corruption and said, look here, we are taking it straight to State House. And that is your chairman. So I really cannot imagine a situation where Azimio would come out triumphant in a presidential debate.
Whichever way it goes.
Whichever way it goes, because there's really, unless Azimio is going to talk about failures of government, unless Azimio is going to pick up, you know, issues around corruption and so on, and like we are saying, corruption issues involving the deputy president, where he's been mentioned, and his entire team, have been discussed ad nauseum in the public. Yeah. So they no longer interest anybody. But if you start, you know, discussing corruption as you know, Kenya Kwanza was putting it, smack inside the State House and those closed files, is very exciting to Kenyans.
Yeah.
So I think Azimio had everything to lose in this particular debate.
Right.
So in a way, I mean, that's a tactical move for them. But sorry, Trevor,
yeah.
I think it's actually a loss for democracy, as far as I'm concerned, because this is not just, debates are really not just about, winning votes and so on. For me, debates of this nature, and given the history, is a demonstration of, a more open governance, more accountability to people, engagement, with the population and so on.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a big loss for me that Azimio has brought. That in fact, we expected them to be the ones pushing for democracy.
Okay.
But they're the ones who are telling us now that, sorry, let Ruto engage in public participation and such engagements. For us, we shall discuss our things in the boardrooms.
Okay. Professor Igi, is it a loss for democracy, or is it a misstep from the Azimio team?
I don't think...
If they go ahead and not show up?
I don't think it's a misstep. I think when you look at the other debate is like Gachagua was debating the sitting president, who is not a candidate, meaning that it's a waste of time to go in that direction because the other president is not a candidate. Number two, I want to accept that UNDA has been quite brilliant. They have avoided, they have successfully made the election about the economics, when the election is actually about integrity. Because it is a lack of integrity which has branded the corruption, which he now is trying to pin on Azimio.
Yeah,
if you look,
somehow accepted.
Yeah, he's trying to pin. Azimio has not accepted anything. Because if I can give you some statistics here, and I think Azimio need to really run away with this. 99% of the corruption took place in the first Jubilee government. Okay? If you are talking about NYS 1, NYS 2, Afia House 1, Afia House 2, you understand? Even the SGR, I'm going to shock you today. SGR contract was signed by the Nusumukate government. And when the Jubilee government came, they opened that contract and negotiated 200 billion upwards with exactly the same people. Do you understand? All those corruption, whether it's in Ngolana Kolalu, because you have to understand this accusation they are labeling Raila being in government, it makes no sense because Raila did not appoint a single minister.
Yeah, but what does Azimio have to lose if they show up for the debate?
No, I'll tell you what they have to lose if they show up.
Yeah.
I want to finish the train of thought I was having. So most corruption took place in the first Jubilee administration. Okay? Now, the question for this election is actually about integrity. Because if there's integrity, then there's no corruption. You understand? Now, if Azimio comes to Raila Odinga and agrees to come debate William Ruto, it dignifies Ruto. And I don't think by showing up to debate, because you see throughout this campaign, the UNDA has shown no respect for the Azimio candidate, Raila Odinga. They have been calling him Ile Mzee Akitenda Willy in the front. So you come and debate somebody who you know are taking part in ruining our economy. Okay? Because 648 billion was stolen in the first 5 years of Jubilee. We never had Ruto mention it. Okay? So Ruto can't now come around and tell us that unity agenda is to fight corruption. Which one? If it never offended you, when it was taking place in the first term, it should not offend you now.
So should the candidate come and highlight all these things you're highlighting so that Kenyans can hear? Because 34 million people watched the deputy presidential debate.
4 million.
34 million
Kenyans watched it.
Yes. That is a number you can't reach in an ordinary day.
I am persuaded that Raila's credentials are open to the Kenyans. Raila's fight for democracy and good governance is very known to 47 million of us. So Raila doesn't have to look for an opportunity like for a debate for people to understand him.
Okay.
People already understand Raila
Okay.
Odinga.
Prof, what is this election really about? What Professor Gitile is saying is that this will dignify the opponent.
Yeah. And
You've been there, you're in the front line when the debates were happening. Does it dignify anyone in any
no,
way?
it does. If you come,
In fact,
if you are going to come, if you are going to put Raila Odinga next to William Ruto,
Yeah.
that it dignifies William Ruto.
How does it
Okay.
dignify him? In fact, I find that argument from the Azimio sides quite. I mean, if I was to use, if I was to be English, I would say quite interesting. But we know that some of the best debates in the history of debating is always by having opposites.
Yeah.
In fact, the nature of all debates, even the high school ones, one person opposes and the other one proposes. The best debates is when you actually have those opposites, and then issues come up. So if Azimio are convinced that they're the polar opposite of Kenya Kwanza in corruption, the more they should debate, because Kenya Kwanza is so different from them that then they would actually highlight these issues. If you're telling me that this will dignify Ruto, so who decides who's indignified? Is it Azimio who gives dignity to people and the individuals as it actually were? In fact, I mean, for me, my concern, and I think I've seen it with Azimio. They don't seem to have a strategy at all about these debates. I think Kenya Kwanza has a strategy, and that strategy has been very clear. Yes, we can question it. That strategy has been, basically, if you are saying that these elections is about integrity and about corruption, Kenya Kwanza is saying, yes, it is. We are going to discuss that. Smack at the center of government, and involving your own chair in Azimio. So there are no sacred cows here. So basically, anything that Azimio puts on the table, Kenya Kwanza says, bring it on.
They have a counter.
If it's about the economy, we have the plan, we have an agenda, and His Excellency Ruto keeps reminding them that the reason why they don't want to debate anything is because they have no agenda. And when they say that,
let him finish. I'll come to you.
that this team is corrupt, they say, yes, please bring it. Let's discuss corruption. Let's discuss state capture. Let's discuss the 17 major corruption issues involving your chairman. And then they chicken out. Is
it because Azimio has baggage?
No.
That's the reason
Azimio
why.
has no baggage. Because both the presidential, Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga and the running mate Martha Karua, these are the cleanest Kenyans you can get. So there is no baggage there. I think what they don't want...
your chairman?
What they don't want... Which chairman? We have a presidential candidate.
And
So the baggage here, let me tell you, the baggage, and that's why I'm saying that the critical point here is a desire by our candidate not to dignify William Ruto. If Raila Odinga want to come down, he can tear down William Ruto. Because what you are seeing, we are hearing from UNDA, the promises UNDA is making, they cannot stand the test of time. William Ruto want to solve all our problems by money. He says we will take 15 billion here, 200 billion here. Our very solution for him is money, contributive economics. It has never worked. So what Ruto is doing is telling what is called true lies. You understand? The manifesto of Azimio, I mean of UNDA, is what is called true lies. So it's very easy for Raila Odinga to debug that. You know what a true lie is? Is when you tell an unbelievable lie. A lie like if you say, I'll give women in businesses 15 billion. That's an unbelievable lie because you can actually give the 15 billion. But it's the 15 billion you know you don't have. Today, because of this theft, this billion theft, the Jubilee administration has foisted on the people of Kenya, the government is borrowing 2.5 billion daily. and spending 2.4 billion daily. Where is the 15 billion? Where is the 200 billion? In fact, there is a joke going around about in Trogana, where he's saying you will give 15 billion to grow coffee. But so when we talk about unbelievable lies, it's very easy. Raila is an incredible debater. It's very easy for him to tear down this Azimio manifesto because it has no legs. In fact, it has not landed. Those promises are simply, they are simply pure and simple true lies. But I think the Azimio presidential candidate finds no value in going to a debate to discuss Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta is not a candidate in this election.
But Professor Naituli, you know, the latest opinion poll shows that the 16% were undecided.
Correct.
None of the leading presidential candidates gathered the 50+1.
Right.
Aren't you concerned that the 16% may decide based on what they hear?
The 16% will decide, I can guarantee you, in the next 2 weeks. For example, let me give you an example. You know how Central Kenya votes? The Central Kenya makes its decision in the last 2 weeks of every election. They don't make it based on the debate. Somehow, I don't know how they're able to talk and vote in one direction. In fact, I believe that 16%, the bulk of the 16% is probably people from the Central Kenya. And they will make their decision in the next 2 weeks, and I can guarantee you 90%, because when you put a government of William Ruto and Gachagua on one side, you put a government of Raila Odinga and Martha Karua. What do you see? You see a government of people who have fought for freedom and good governance. The other one, there is zero history of anything that's hurt. You see, what hurts a country, it shouldn't hurt you. We have never heard a voice of Gachagua or William Ruto on what is the best for Kenya. They cannot suddenly come and convince Kenya that they have an answer.
Okay. But Professor Menya, what is this election really about? Because Prof says it's about integrity. The other side says it's about economy and the cost of living. What is it about?
No, you see, whether we like it or not, it's clear, and we've had very good opinion polls, Ipsos Synovate, of the issues that are of concern to Kenyans. Yes, we can talk about integrity and so on, and they're important. I'm not trying to downplay that, but you don't discuss that you know, with people who really have no money in their pockets. We've even seen government struggling. You know, of course, the other day we were talking about the cost of unga. You know, people are making jokes that you know, we queued for fuel, and then we queued for unga. Now we'll be queuing to elect the same people who caused the problem. Whether we like it or not, I mean, I think, like they would say, is economy stupid? You know, we need to actually get money in the pockets of ordinary citizens and so on. Ordinary citizens are actually suffering, and I don't think that you know, the candidate that has been painted very well by Prof here would have gotten far if he was not advancing this populist economic agenda, basically telling these millions of suffering and poor Kenyans that yes, he has a solution, and they will be able to, you know, to make ends meet in his government by pushing this bottom-up economics. And I think really that is one of the reasons why Ruto has gotten a bit of traction, that they're starting to debate and engage. Of course, Azimio also is talking about some of those same things. But I think we have to deal with debt. We have to deal with you know, the fact that the economy has failed, and you can give all sorts of reasons from poor governance to whatever is happening in Ukraine. The cause is neither here nor there, and I think for many Kenyans, integrity, many Kenyans have given up on integrity, really, in this sense that, yes, I mean, we are really comparing relatively, you know, dirty politicians with very, very dirty ones. We've reached that particular point where we're saying...
It's the level of dirt that now
matters. Exactly, it's the level of dirt that matters. I think, like I was saying before, is wrestling of pigs, actually. And one could be white, one could be black, or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, they're all smacked in mud. And I think that is what Azimio is highlighting, and it's the same thing that that UDA is highlighting. We've reached a very actually unprecedented levels where both parties are so dirty that basically we are saying we shall not elect on the basis of that.
Yeah.
Let's just forget it. All these people are pretty dirty.
Okay.
And therefore, let us see who between the two is relatively cleaner. And I think that's what Azimio, that is what his side has not done a very good job at. Yeah, because I think there was very good traction when Martha was brought to the ticket, because many people consider Martha relatively clean.
Okay.
And yes, even the Azimio candidate, really, with all due respect to Honorable Raila, Raila is considered to be relatively clean. But I think what the other side is saying is that if you look at your Azimio as a whole, you're just as dirty as Kenya Kwanza as a whole.
I think I don't agree with them really that everybody, because he says everybody is dirty.
Yeah.
That is not exactly true. Raila Odinga has been a very clean politician. I mean, you have, for example, his candidate. Okay? His candidate has never worked outside in government.
I don't have a candidate.
You don't understand? The UDA candidate has never worked outside government.
Yeah.
He's a millionaire. And in fact, that's why I believe there is no government here which has ever fought corruption, because that's what you do. It's very simple.
Yeah.
You go to the tax returns for the last 10 years. Every year you see what was declared. What you declare in the tax returns, that's what you own. Anything, then we do an audit. Anything outside what you declared will come for you. But let me tell you why I think Azimio as serious founder. If they really wanted to go talk with the UNDA, you look at the corruption which took place. KPL scandal, 2 billion.
Yes, that's true.
Moi River Hospital, 28 billion.
Correct.
Okay. Kenya Power, 2 billion.
Yes.
Fake farms deal scandal, I don't know whatever that means, that's 9 billion. Aroro Kimaro, 63 billion. Now, you try to allocate these scandals to the ministries.
Yeah.
And you find, because the Azimio fellows divided the ministry into two.
But why not bring this out?
They divided the government.
You know,
correct.
Prof,
let me explain.
The scandals may be there, but why not? Let's come back to the main conversation. Why not bring this up in the debate so that there's a right of response?
I'm trying to explain to you that these ministries, because they divided in government between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, most of these ministries, they are held by ministers appointed by William.
Let's come back to the presidential debate. So why not table this allegations in the debate? The deputy president himself actually spoke today and asked the Azimio team to come and debate it. And he said he's ready.
I think it's very easy for Azimio team to take on the deputy president.
So why don't they show up?
The reason why they don't show up, and I say it again, is there is no point for Raila Odinga to dignify William Ruto.
But how will he be dignifying?
He has been in every campaign. You see, in our competition, you need to respect the competitor with you. You need to have a total respect. You have seen in the sports, when these people compete, they hug each other. You understand? In fact, there's a story where someone actually made a Kenyan win.
Yeah.
When the Kenyan was confused, he pushed because he didn't want to win unfairly. Do you understand? So that respect has been lacking in the UNDA campaigns.
Okay.
And therefore, the Azimio presidential candidate felt that in dignifying that process was not going to add any value. Now, is this the first time?
Yeah.
The answer is no. 2017, President Uhuru Kenyatta refused to debate Raila Odinga.
That is fine.
Going to dignify Raila.
Same reason.
But Professor Naituli, based on the fact that Kenya...
In fact, you're saying it's the same reason. Was Uhuru going to dignify Raila?
Well, yeah, he didn't want to dignify him.
So Professor Naituli, let me bring you back to this issue of dignifying. So if Kenyans vote and there's a bit of peace, which is what we are looking for, okay? Peace and unity. Wouldn't Azimio team showing up and shaking hands with the DP prove to Kenyans that politics is not a game of enmity? You see, it's a difference of opinion, which is what you've been preaching in your campaigns, right?
That's what I agree.
So why don't they show up?
That's what Mother Karua has preached. That's what I've been preaching. Because
so why not come and shake hands in public and show that this is just a difference of opinion, not about dignifying?
For me, there is no enemies in this race. These are all Kenyans in the race. Okay?
Why don't they come and show that?
They just differ in the approach. You understand? They differ only in the approach on how to govern the country. But I'm trying to interpret, the Azimio candidate. I'm making an interpretation. I think the Azimio candidate is justifiably offended by shifting the debate from issues, from corruption issues, okay? Because Ruto said they shouldn't discuss corruption in that debate. That's what I understand.
But that is a discretion of the moderators, and this is an independent.
So shifting the debate
is not shifting anything.
Attempt
I took part in the deputy presidential debate. I can assure you there's no influence from outside.
Yes.
An attempt to shift the debate from things that really matter to Kenyans to discussing a retiring president. Okay? That is one of the reasons why the Azimio president decided that I'm not going to dignify that discussion.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, Ovenya.
Yeah, but you see, this is exactly what you are saying. That look, I mean, discussing the president was Kenya Kwanza's strategy, and they were able to push it successfully.
Exactly, because
that is the essence of a good debater.
Yeah.
What was Azimio's strategy? You cannot say that when the enemy of, when the strategy of your enemy succeeds, then you actually run away.
I don't know whether it's succeeding, but I want to agree that it's much easier. You know, the question which has always been asked.
Right.
Whether the president should go into the campaign in support of Azimio.
Correct.
My argument has been no.
Correct.
And the reason is very simple. First of all, Jubilee administration, in my opinion, has been a failure. All the problems we're having here is as a result of Jubilee administration in investing our resources in poorly thought.
Exactly.
UNDA candidate, William Ruto, has been telling us who embarrassed the rally. Only somebody who hate this country will embarrass that railway. Because it's producing nothing. You don't commit 500 billion, and on commissioning that project, you start paying 1 billion monthly to run. So William Ruto says no problem with our wastage.
But
like
Prof,
that one,
and
you want us to make him president. No, you see, Raila Odinga is not part of the Jubilee decisions.
Okay.
Why can I come and say that?
All right.
It's not the part of the Jubilee.
Okay, let's take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll take your feedback on whether these debates actually affect the voters' choice, and then I'll get the feedback from them as we wind up on this conversation. Does the debate affect the voters' choice? Just hours away from the presidential debate, which is happening tomorrow at the Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Keep your views coming at Trevor Mbiji at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Money Report. You can also send in your SMSs on 22422. Tell us your name and where you're texting from. We'll sample some of your views in the next few minutes.